before I jump into a connection with Spirit, that worked so brilliantly because you were so brave and I didn't catch your name. I'm so sorry.
I'm Aleni.
Aleni? Oh, that's beautiful. Because you stood up and you were like, yes, that's me. And you give us that feedback. So the yes is so important because what happens is we surrender to the reading, as do you. At our last show, the spirits were amazing. There was one beautiful spirit. No one took her. And I was like, okay, thank you. Feel like an idiot here, but cool. Afterwards, I got the messages. She was mine. I didn't feel comfortable standing up. So if you think that someone is your spirit, let us know. Because once the moment's passed, now's your chance. You joined the wait list, unfortunately. So now's your chance. So it's really important just to give us those yeses. And your energy is incredible. So you're here, you're rushed, you're here, you're happy to connect, you're ready to connect. And that makes such a difference to the quality of an energetic connection. So the yeses, that, oh, yes, I think it's me, that is so helpful to us because we feed off your energy to bring that connection through to you as well. So if you think this might be your loved one coming through, I need you to tell me. Or forever hold peace. Don't tell me later, I don't want to know. I'll be driving home, I don't want to know. All right, so who do we have here? Okay, I have a beautiful man here. He's here in spirit. He's got a booming voice. I feel like I want to take on his voice as I connect with him. So he's got this beautiful booming voice, a deep voice. He's a larrikin, or what you might call a bogan. I'd probably call a bogan, and I identify as a bogan, so that's fine. That's said with love. He's got a beautiful booming voice. There is a P initial, which I believe may be his name. If it's not his name, it's very directly linked to him very closely. So I feel Paul, something like that is very close to his name. He stands very tall. He's a blokey bloke, but he tells me I have the heart of gold. And he doesn't need to tell me that because I can feel it. As I say that, I feel pain in my heart. So I feel that he suffered from mental health conditions. He would give and give and give, but he never felt worthy, is what he's telling me right now. He never felt worthy. He's happy now, so we don't ever have to think about our loved ones in pain on the other side. It doesn't work that way. Anything that comes through today, that is an emotional pain, is how they were feeling before they passed. He's got a pain in his heart space. He took his own life. He tells me, yep, that makes sense to you. Would you like to stand up? Thank you. Thank you for being brave. I really appreciate it. Does the name Paul make sense to you? Or P? Okay. And everything else, so he's a larrikin. The pain. Oh, yes. Whew. Yeah, he's here. I'm shivering. He's here with you. Okay. He tells me brother. Is he your brother or a brother like friend?
Brother, very close.
Okay, so soul brother. Kind of like this one to me, yeah. Because he tells me that he protected you like a brother. Yeah, he protected you like a brother. He's very... Okay. He has a message for you, which I'm going to get into in a minute, but he asked me to speak directly to the men here. And I don't know how many men we have here. A few? Maybe we need to relay this message to the men at home. He says, don't be afraid to speak up. Because for him, he was like, I'm a man. Yeah. But there was an unworthiness around speaking out, is how he feels. So no one made him feel that way. That was an internal dialogue that he had. I should be better than this. I should be tougher than this. I should be stronger than this. So he's asking me to relay this to the men in the room, but also for you guys to relay to your loved ones. That's not weak to speak, is what he says. And he did. He says, I did, but I could never relay my messages properly, is what he says to me. I couldn't get that pain out of my belly. Do you have anxiety? Did he have anxiety? I feel it in my gut. I couldn't get it out of my belly and into the open, if that makes sense as well. So there was shame. There was shame around it. And there's no shame, is what he really powerfully wants me to say, that there's no shame in suffering. There's no shame. You're not alone. Whew. And he once he goes deep, he gathers himself. But anyway, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just want to be on top, but I'm fine. So I'm composing myself as him. You took his passing really badly. And he says sorry. Yeah. You still feel that in your heart, don't you? It's a physical thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So when this happens, this is their emotion coming through me, which is why I'm like, so it's not bad emotion, it's just emotion. And this is why the work we do is so enlightening but also so draining, because it uses our body as well. Because he's trying to relay the message, but he's like, he'll just go silent when he gets upset and has something to say. But the feelings that I feel through my heart space, through my chest, directly to you, and I'm trying to beam that over to you, is that he's really sorry. He's not sorry that he's not here, because he was never happy when he was here. He had moments of happiness, he's happy now. He's really sorry for the way that he left you feeling. And he wants you to know he stayed for 18 months longer because of you. Does that timeline make sense to you? Yeah. 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 So he says, I would have passed 18 months before if it wasn't for you, is what he says. So he's acknowledging that you kept him here. You kept him here. There's a little boy linked to him. Do you know who that might be? Yeah. Yeah. He always thought he wasn't good enough. So he thought he's better off without me. I told him with my thoughts that I want to kick him in the nuts. Because I was just like, ugh. And he says, you can. Because again, that's his humour. He's like, you can. Because I kind of just went, oh, that's so wrong. And he's like, you can kick me in the nuts if you want to, is what he's basically said to me. So I didn't physically say, I want to kick you in the nuts, but he said to me, if you want, you can. Because he's picking up on my thoughts as well. Because it's so untrue. Because as you know, he's so worthy. He's always been so worthy, but there was something in his belly telling him that he wasn't. He tells me that happened at 7 years old. So he had some trauma linked to his childhood from 7 to 8 years old. He was a little boy in a man's body. Yeah. And he doesn't hold any resentment. He doesn't hold any pain. He's happy. He's here. He's living. So as he shows me that here verse for 7 or 8 year old little boy who's free. Because he says, I never felt free. He sends you butterflies. Yeah. So notice the butterflies around him. Now he does have a message for you. I love his humour, because he tells me that you need to stop doubting yourself. You need to keep going. And I'm like, hypocrite. Is what I'm saying to him. But he's saying to me that you're doubting yourself. You stop starting. Would that be with your career? What do you stop starting? Yeah.
I spoke to you a few months ago about the guy upstairs.
Okay.
Toilet, sitting the light, the TV.
Ah, yep. Yep.
He's not there now.
Okay.
He has actually gone.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
He says you stop starting, and for me it felt career. So for me, I feel that's something that you're going to do. Because he asked you not to stop starting. He also tells me, he could talk all day, so I'm going to cut him off soon and send him back with you. Because he will talk all day. But he says to me that you hear him talk to you. He presents as a thoughts are your own internal dialogue. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, trust it. Why are you here? You can talk to me at home. Why are you spending the money on this? Is what he says. So he says you can talk to me at home. That is me. I'm verifying that. He says he talks to you when you're in the toilet. And I feel like he's saying this to make you embarrassed. There you go. Yeah. He talks to you while you're on the toilet.
Because I go to the toilet during the night and I fall in.
Yeah.
Because the seat's not down. But I know the fact that the seat was down when I went to bed. It's not down. So yeah, I fall into the...
Yeah, that's him. That's his humour. You know that. Yeah. Yeah. You can talk to him. Don't doubt it.
I walk through my house and go,
Yeah.
oh, I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll write things that remind me.
Mm-hmm. And he shows me in your bedroom. So if I stand and I look at your bed, on the left-hand side of the room, there's something of his. Whether that be a photo, a memory, there's something on the left-hand side. So if I'm at the end of your bed, looking at your bed head, there's something on the left-hand side.
I sleep on the left-hand side when I have that figure at the end of my bed.
So that's him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's protecting you still. Yeah. And I'll send him back with you, but he's so beautiful and don't doubt yourself. And thank you so much for being brave. Thank you.
Applause for the bravery.